Good day and welcome back to another Dbz Dokkan metal video. In this video we're going to be taking a look at, the performance of the physical transforming Vegeta in the Syn Shenron event. Now the big thing with Vegeta in the Syn Shenron event comparative to some of the other events, Syn Shenron's a 3-phase event, which gives us a little bit more time, depending on your team of course. Compared to maybe, let's say, like a merged master event, etc. And what this means is, technically speaking, Vegeta should start out a little bit better. It's a better situation for him. Obviously, big thing with Vegeta, he does take a little bit of ramp up time just to get his start of turn defense to super high levels. His defense after super is always in, I would probably say, a decent range. Especially at the rainbow level, it's never in a situation where it's terrible. I think that's one thing to clear up. What the Syn Shenron event does is it allows Vegeta that time to build up. So, as you can see, no AoE attacks in the beginning, favorable typing advantage. Vegeta is really just able to, now get off some supers and build up some defense. Now, depending on how quickly you manage to actually beat the first couple phases of Shenron is going to be, pivotal to determining just how well he does throughout the rest of the event. Because obviously you then do start to get AoE phases, etc. But for me, personally speaking, Vegeta is quite solid throughout the whole way. Much like the Merge the Master event, his unsuper defense is always really, really good. And once he gets past that first two kind of transformations, once he gets past that Super Saiyan and that Super Vegeta, he tends to be in a pretty good situation. Defensively, start turn defense will be in a solid position. He'll do some nice damage. For me, and I think I explained this in another video, he feels like a baby version of the LR Super Saiyan Trunks. So the physical LR Super Saiyan Trunks, obviously with his damage reduction, his additional supers and everything, is a very strong unit, especially after a couple of super attacks. This Vegeta feels kind of similar in a way. Get a couple orbs, you get some additional super attacks. His defense is probably comparable to the Trunks, so very, very solid in that regards. And yeah, I would say overall, pretty good. Honestly speaking, I would say overall, pretty good stuff. I think Vegeta is actually surprisingly impressive as a unit, which, in most situations for me, is good enough. His damage is good. The thing is, you're not going to probably get, even in this Syn Shenron event, I would say if you're getting to God level Vegeta, depending on your team, I think you've probably hit the point of either having a slow team or just a very tanky team. You could definitely maybe get to God Vegeta relatively consistently, depending on your team. Because you can see here, I have God Vegeta obviously doing his thing. So you definitely can. And you can see, like, obviously Vegeta get there. And I think that's a bit more consistent. Like, whereas in other events, I mentioned before that getting him to Super Saiyan 2 level was probably like the upper threshold of where you could consider a unit to be. I think Vegeta can get to Super Saiyan God in the Syn Shenron event pretty regularly. And you can see he's taking a bit of chip damage with the AoEs. That will depend on how successful you are with additional supers throughout. So if you manage to get yourself one or two more additional supers, which I did not, then Vegeta's defense at that point will probably be close enough to trim the fat off of those AoE attacks and really just give him like good single target presence. Of course, his actual super attack and his defense afterwards, he'll be more than fine. A nice 7 million attack stat as well, followed up with another good attack stat as well. And then at this point, his defense is sitting in a pretty good position, enough to tank, singles, normals. Super attacks will give him huge damage, and you'll likely be defeated. But from a damage perspective and a normal perspective, you can see here, he has physical Trunks, right? in a very similar position. Defensively, in terms of raw defense, probably around about the same. In fact, if not a little bit less in terms of raw defense, but obviously just comparable with using his standby skill and his damage reduction. But Vegeta feels to me solid enough as a unit whereby I find him to be, good, essentially, is what I'm saying. I think he's a very good second slot, solid raw defense, good damage kind of unit. He's not giving you much more than that, but I don't think he has to. I think he's good. He also changes orbs, which is nice. And just in general, he's in a good position. So yeah, that's at least what I think about Vegeta. I think he's very, very good. Let me know your thoughts, and I'll see you in the next one. Till then, bye.